Boom. Hey, team, I'm back. I'm William Poet. I'm president of 9Q Solutions, and I hope you're having a great day. Take a breath. If you're joining me live or if you're joining me later, first question: are you in joy right now? Are you in love with your life? Do you love what you do for a living? Do you love who you work with? Do you love who you do your work for? Because this is really, really important. You know, there are so many productivity gurus out there, and time blocking, and how to maximize, how to optimize, how to do all these things. For why? Is it to put more dollars in someone else's bank account? Is it to give you more strength? Is it to give you a better body, more health? Why? What is the ultimate ROI? What are you looking for? I am going to suggest, being 62 years young and having spent the last 3.5, 4 decades studying peak performers, that the ultimate ROI is joy. Had joy in serving other people, joy in receiving God's gifts, got the grace. This year started with me having some pretty gnarly health stuff. And for the first time in my whole life, I was actually scared about whether I might be or might not be. And I recognize that, hey, I'm here now and I'm breathing and I'm converting oxygen into carbon. And I got to see the sunrise this morning. And that's today is the day. Today is the day for joy. Today is the day for celebration and abundance. And I'm really celebrating. I got two things. This book was written by me, the ABCs of Peak Performers. And I'm going to be walking you through a really cool exercise from the book. But this book I'm really excited about. It's called Family Fortune. And it was written by one of my clients whose company specializes in preserving familial legacy. It says right here, this is about protecting wealth, legacy, and harmony across generations. I live on a ranch. It's been in our family since 1816. It hasn't always been harmonious. And so I'm so thrilled that I got to be a part of this process with him. And he came up last night and shared the book with us. So this is written by Mike Schmidt. Follow him on LinkedIn. Give him some love. It is an amazing book. If you have a family and if you have a legacy business, or if there's something you want to preserve for your kids and grandkids, definitely a must read. This book, The ABCs of Peak Performers, began. My first wife passed away in our 16th year of marriage. She had a terminal illness, and I began writing letters to my daughter. And I was writing about things that I had learned from some of the amazing people that I'd worked with: Wayne Gretzky, Ken Richardson, heads of billion-dollar companies, world's best athletes. So these letters to my daughter became this book. And each letter is a quality: attitude, balance, confidence, discipline. And I'm celebrating a really cool anniversary in my life. So I thought I would pull this out and dust it off. It's out of print, but you can still get it on Kindle. It's an amazing book. And today we are going to talk about attitude. What is attitude? Everyone, going back to when you were a kid, I don't like your attitude. You have a bad attitude. You need to improve your attitude. Well, what I did in this book is, as a teacher and a guide, the first thing we got to do is we got to clarify what it is we're working for. Clarity is where power comes from. So the way I define in every chapter, I define a skill set, a character trait, then I give examples of it, and then I give some exercises to build it. So here is my definition of attitude. It is your physical, mental, and emotional posture as you interpret and react to the events unfolding around your life, both real and imagined. So let's talk about this. I was a close quarter combat instructor, and when we fight, there are certain kamaes or fighting postures we assume. There can be an aggressive posture, there can be a very defensive posture, and these postures are physical embodiments of how we're feeling, and they're reflecting the scenario, right? And so when you go into any event, your attitude is going to determine the outcome. I'm also a pilot, and your plane's attitude in relationship to a storm, your plane, certainly when you're landing, your plane's attitude in relationship to the ground is everything. So take a second, take a breath. rate your attitude right now. How do you feel? Do you feel great? Are you in love? We have a simple kind of we call it the flow zone, and 8, 9, 10, that's the green zone. That is the ultimate optimal attitude. I feel great. I'm focused. I'm intentional. Then as our attitude descends and we get sort of stressed out, we get into the yellow zone. That's like 5, 6, and 7. And then, we can get into the red zone, which is like 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you were watching the debate last night, or if you're hyper engaged in this political morass, you might not be living in the green zone right now. But attitude is something that we can control. It determines the outcomes of everything we do, whether I'm in combat, whether I'm in a sales meeting, whether I'm going on a date. And one way, so that's your attitude, is your physical, intellectual, and emotional posture. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? How are you moving as you go into a new event? And learning how to manage and elevate your posture is really critical. And here's the training part. I'm going to give you 2 exercises that right now you can do anywhere, anytime. It's going to improve and elevate your attitude. Exercise number 1 is forgiveness. There are things that have happened to you that suck. There are people that have said, done, you have been a victim to unkind, thoughtless acts. And whether they were intentional or accidental, if you're holding on to them, if you're still pissed off, if you're angry, you're carrying a weight. You're carrying a really heavy weight that's restricting your performance. It's certainly lowering your attitude. It's not helping anything. And guess what? 99% of the time, that person who did whatever doesn't think about you at all. So forgiveness is such a beautiful act, and it's an act that frees you energetically. And I was doing a training one time, and this woman came up to me, and she said, you just have no idea. I can't ever forgive what, and she had so much anger and so much pain, and you can see the hooks in this lady. And I'm like, you think about this a lot, right? She's like, every single day. And I'm like, well, when did this happen? And it was like 20 years ago. I'm like, how much do you think this person thinks about it? And she's like, none. It's a big burden to carry. It's a big burden to carry. So you know what? Active forgiveness. And here's what I have learned and know. Everyone is doing the best they can in the moment of choice with the tools they have. And a lot of people don't have very good tools. I had a person do I am not even going to tell you how horrific what they did to me and my family was. Well, I mean, it cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It stole months and months of my life. And my anger and rage at this person was eating me alive. And ultimately what I had to do is I had to learn about this person, learn about this person's childhood. And this person grew up a victim of abuse. And I can be really mad at a grown-up doing something out of integrity, but I can't be mad at a 4 or 5-year-old child that's suffering. And that was the seed of the person that took this action. And I was able to forgive. And I was able to move on. So forgiveness, just take out a list of the people that have wronged you and just say, I love you and I forgive you. And then light it on fire. Let it go. So that's one technique to elevate your attitude. Another technique to elevate your attitude is gratitude. To sit down and think about all the things that you have to be grateful. If you're watching this right now, your life is not that bad. You've got access to a computer or a phone. You can see, you can hear, you can feel. There is so much grace. God's grace is literally infinite. The sun is shining. The sun came up. Gravity is working. You're here. And there is abundance everywhere. And when you tap into that grace, you get access to more of it. And just by active forgiveness and by active gratitude, you elevate your attitude. You come into a better state, a better emotional, better energetic state. And when you do that, everything that you do has a greater outcome. And so that I wanted to pop in. I wanted to share some training with you guys, give you some love, and an invitation. I'm starting a brand new boot camp in 2.5 weeks. It's the 9Q Pinnacle AI Boot Camp. It's 8 weeks with amazing men and women. We're focusing on 3 things. Number 1, extreme confidence. Going into any situation and knowing that not only do you have the attitude, but you have the competencies to thrive. We're focusing on extreme resilience. We are going, I need to tell you guys, it is a gnarly planet that we picked, and there's a lot going on. And I want to make sure that when you get knocked down, you can get up again. You got the resilience to keep moving, keep on keeping on. And then we're going to work on extreme productivity and AI literacy. This is the thing that really turns me on. This book, what this book took 2 years to go through publication, editing, and everything else. This book, my client did, we leveraged a lot of AI from concept to print in 2 months. Man, we have so much available to us, so many opportunities and access. I want you to be a part of the team. I'll post a link. Register today. You can save 50% on your tuition. You can be a part of a team that is badass, dynamic, learning how to expand and live and love, enjoy. I'm going to be your coach. I've been guiding the world's best for 35 years. So with a 50% discount, you can get on this team for $995. I guarantee this will be one of the best adventures, the best training, the best group of people you have ever been a part of. So like I said, the link is above. Join us. Focus on your attitude. Focus on elevating, making some magic happen. Boom. I'm going to be back with more of these training tips. Thank you for your time and energy. I'm William Poet, and I am done. So that's it. Go make some joy.